99 problems and I still kept it 100. Hold up. Yeah.
So you want to call yourself a trader? Are you trading Octo today? If you didn't trade Octo at least once, why? Oh, I know why, because you were scared. See, if you were in the hit the bid room, you wouldn't have been scared. I would have given you the levels to get in, where it was going to go, and you wouldn't have to be hearing this story now, me telling you, oh, well, we did this, we did that. You would have been there. You would have been there live, and you would have known why we're back in it right this second. Because it just faux show broed and did a VWAP break. Sold to you right here, 55, out. It's going to get halted in a second. See, as soon as I start talking about it, it starts ripping. Why? Because that's the name of the game. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be scared. Like, I didn't even want to be buying open. But I'm not going to not participate in the greatest game ever. Since the game, I remember when the GameStop saga was happening, GameStop and AMC, and somebody said, don't you think this is bad for the market? Which market? Which market is more volume bad for? Which market are you talking about? Well, the overall health of the market. Do you think it's bad that it seems like you could just gather some people together and manipulate the stock? Did you just say gather some people together and manipulate the stock market? That's what it's been doing since the 1900s. You gather people together and you manipulate the stock market. Just because us schmucks now could participate in the manipulation, that's a bad thing? That's a great thing. Give it up for manipulation. Woo! Give it up for the rigging. That's how we trade. But if you understand the entire market's rigged and you understand that it is manipulated, then you join in. You're not going to be the manipulated with Kenny Glick involved. You're going to be the manipulator. It's a big difference. We understand the market's rigged. Bring it. I'm not delusional here. And again, if you're shorting the market, you're kind of delusional, even though we put 3 shorts on today. But if you're not going to take, a shot on this stock, because the first thing you said is, oh, another bullshit name up 3,000, well, at the time when we were buying it, it was already up 1,100%. Who in their right mind would buy it? I would. You know why? Because it consolidated at a higher level and it produced a double top. And when double tops, when you pull back and then you break double tops, you rip. And then when you get halted to upside pressure and you pull back and you hold the prior pullback halt candle, that's super bullish. And if you don't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, join the Hit the Bid trading room. Because as I've been saying, on your first day, and thank you very much for sending some of these wonderful emails. I really do appreciate it. It makes me feel good. Because, again, it's a lonely, sad business at sometimes. You're by yourself. You try to do this as best as you can. But if you're scared, join the room. You need somebody to hold your hand while putting on these trades? I'm that guy. And I'm the guy that's been doing this before the game was invented. I invented the game. I know some people think, oh, here he goes again talking. Yeah. What we do here didn't exist before I started to do it. We invented the game. Small order execution system and SelectNet. They don't really exist too much anymore. SOS is out there. We still do. You still use it. You don't even know you're using it. But I was here before decimalization, before high-frequency trading, before quant firms, and not before VWAP, but before people used VWAP exclusively as a day trading mechanism. I've been doing all this. And I certainly have learned what a short squeeze looks like. The AMC GameStop saga was nothing new. When that started to happen, I was like, oh, cool. It's the same thing here. Here, this Octo just went from 50 cents to $57. Remember BMNR was $1, went to 161. You guys remember the Newsmax IPO, $2.50 to $250. Remember the bull? Remember when Robinhood first came out? $20 IPO went to 80, the stock went to 0. This game never really changes. The names change, the symbols change, but the chart pattern recognition meets VWAP and range breaks and understanding price. So with the Octo, this was not a chart I needed. And when I started saying if it breaks 1750, it's going to go to 50, it's not like I just said it out loud and said, and oh, there it went. There was a reason. Because what I've been witnessing my whole career for 30 years is this. Normally you don't see it happen all in one day. Like the reason we all own Palantir from $10 is that once the stock got through the 20s, blue sky breakout, 20 gets you 30. If you get through the 30s, you generally get 50. 50 gets you 80. Wait, Octo, if you're not selling it here, I'm going to kill you. $61.33. Now it's at 58. Now if at 55, you better sell it. Done. Out. 55. Thank you. Because our entry price was 47 and people thought, what? You're going to buy it now? Yeah, why not? Range break on a short squeeze usually triggers more buying. Now I'm out. I don't need to seek your approval, right? But if you're with me, you would have understood why we just had this conversation 20 minutes ago, because there's the faux show. Fake out, shake out. And I didn't buy it till the breakout. I should have been buying it this whole turn. But I waited and I was like, are they actually going to faux show bro this for me? So when I missed the first entry and then it faked out, shook out, and then I bought it right there. Woo! Have a nice day. I don't even know how many coffee left. How about that sell at 61.35 and 55? Look where the stock is now, right? Almost back to where we bought it. And there's our entry price. So maybe we do it again. But now let's see. Maybe they crash it down to $35 again. But if you don't know about Octo, let me explain. The whole market is a load of turd right now. Every stock, this whole entire market, worthless, garbage, nothing else. Nothing is real, right? Even though the market's probably going up another 20% from here, it's all bullshit. You finally get it. And once you understand how it is all bullshit, you'll be able to participate in the dumbest, ridiculous, wonderful, fantastic, amazing market that's ever been invented. But you've got to appreciate it's a video game. Don't make too much. Oh, I can't buy this up here. Why not? You don't think the stock could be at 120 by the end of the day? Of course it can. Because the whole fucking thing is fugazi. It's a fugazi. It's a fugazi. It's a woozy. It's a woozy. You get it? Right? Like last week, as I'm trying to explain to you, I wanna hate on this open trade more than any stock on the planet, right? But and again, I was hip to this trade before anybody was talking about it because it just came out of one of our chart patterns. We trade these stocks for a living. That's why I love being a bear. I'm hip to all of this bullshit because these are the ones that they squeeze after a couple of reverse stock splits. They generate some sort of buzz. They get paid. And this one, when it got pumped and then dumped and then it held, that proves that the pump is not over with. And we got back involved and then back involved and then back involved and then back involved again. Held it over the weekend. Got short this morning. Made a little money to the downside. Not crazy enough to hold the short because you can't. I had to cover. And now this stock, which continues to be my favorite stock to trade, open, you're able to trade it long, short again, and probably later on today it'll be another long trade, right? But that's the idea here. If you're not with us, right, you're missing out on this type of action where if you just trade around VWAP, and the red lines are all my trades, personal trades, I'll clear that out. Look how clean and beautiful that chart is. There's nothing there except knowing exactly what to do, right? You love a faux show, bro? There it is. Fake out, shake out. Why not buy it right here? Selling them at VWAP, getting paid, getting stopped out of the long. Next thing you know, what do you see here? Double top above VWAP rolls over. Now you got what? A reason to short. So in the same day, we came in long, right? Well, I had it overnight from the weekend, but there was a new reason to buy, another new reason to buy. Reason to cash out, I was done. Next thing you know, I'm looking for a reason to buy. I didn't catch the buy. I caught the short. And then there was a reason to buy, now a reason to be short again. And of course, it'll probably wind up to be a reason to buy. But let's go back to this octo, right? There's a phrase in the business, right? Look where it just pulled back to. You think that's a coincidence? You think that right there when I said, oh my God, it just went right back to my price? That's the exact price. Look, my price where I bought it was $47.56. Look at the price. $47.56, the exact price we bought it on the way up. It brings it right to the same price? To the penny! To the penny! You got 162 million shares trading on this piece of shit, worthless garbage, ripping from $1, yet it just broke the price and came back to the exact same price. You don't think the whole game is rigged? There it is. There it is. Sick. Let me tell you something also about sports gambling. Did you think for a second the Jets were winning that game? That's like thinking the market's actually going to go down anytime in our lifetime. Market doesn't go down. The Jets don't win games. Even when they get better, they still lose. They're just enough to suck. Jets. Just enough to suck. Or just end the season. It's the same stock. It's the same team. It's the same trade. It's the same bet. We're living in the matrix, people. You find something that works to make money on, do it. If you're not betting against the Jets as a religion at this point, after knowing me for all this time, do you get it? It's just like these trades. Price, VWAP, same trade, different stock. Here you got, doesn't matter who the Jets are playing. They're still going to do just enough to suck. Oh, the Jets are looking pretty good this year. As my wife said that to me as I added another $150 to my bet. I said, did you just say the Jets were looking good? You know they're still going to lose this game. She's like, nah, this time is different. I'm like, did you just say this time is different? That's another $100 I bet on the Jets, bet against them. And the Giants? Come on. Can't score off Washington? Who are you going to score off? Scatterboo? Scatterboo's going to save your team? Dart? Giants suck. Maybe they win 4 games. Jets maybe win 2. Who they beating? Miami? Who the Jets beating? They're going to beat Buffalo? Who are they beating? Who the Jets winning? They're going to beat maybe Tampa Bay, maybe Dolphins once. There's your 2 wins. Anyway, let's talk about this stock, right? So here you got a stock that was $1 that you may never have heard of, and now it's at $61. And I'm telling you, there's still a reason to buy it. You know why? Because when it breaks 61.85 in the aftermarket later tonight, it's going to be at 80. And if it goes to 80, it goes to 120. And if it goes to 120, it's going to $250 a share. Kenny, do you really think this stock's going to $250 a share? Why not? Is the question. Have you been witnessing what we've witnessed in this market over the last 5, 10, 15 years? Have you noticed what's been going on since April 9th? Did you notice since I've been talking about the power gap on May 12th, the market it's impossible for the market to go down? And now here we are. Guy in the back was like, oh, here we go again, blah, blah. Yeah, here we go again. Market never goes down. Am I right or am I wrong about that? Guy in the back. Why don't you excuse yourself from the class at this point? Because you're a nuisance to the rest of us. Beat it. it's virtually impossible to make money as a shorter, right? That's telling you something. Don't. Because even the shorts that I had on today, you know how hard I had to work to make money? Yeah, QS short. Were you with us this morning? Right? It's called the fade. You're going to short stocks? Well, you want to look for stocks that are gapped up big, and you want to see when they break VWAP, and that's when you could short them. So we shorted it, and it worked, but we had to cover. And then it popped again, and we shorted it. And we shorted it again. And then it got the prior day VWAP. And right there, you see where it hit the 950, a big fat whole number, a half number. That was prior day VWAP. And I didn't want to believe. I was like, no, I'm not covering my short, even though the chart just told me to do so. I waited. And then I waited some more. And then it broke the top of the range. And I was like, well, I guess this trade's over because shorting is short-lived and you're going to die. So let's go back to this Octo. Because I want to tell you two stories about this stock. There's no way in hell I'm not going to be short this stock at some point. Probably not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But I'm going to Newegg this thing. I'm going to Newegg it. And you guys were with me on the Newegg for 90 points, right? When I crushed this thing right in front of you, the 30. And I told you that's just the beginning of the trade because you had to pull back to the yearly VWAP on the Newegg. And where'd you go? To the yearly VWAP on the Newegg from a short from 129.50. So I'm going to do the same thing to this Octo, but you don't get in its way on day one, not even day two. Look what this thing did. It went from 3 to 135. That was like a 4-month squeeze. You don't know how high these things are going to go. And what you're not going to want to do is get in its way on day one, right? So you just broke new highs, and now you're consolidating above that breakout price. Super bullish. Hey, by the way, if you're having audio problems in the Hit the Bid room, come watch me on the YouTube. I'm on the YouTube. I changed the mics, by the way. I don't know if you hear me now, but all right. So let's take a moment here to reflect what the hell's going on, right? First of all, let's take a moment to reflect that Kenny Glick, if you are just beginning getting into this, again, I know a little bit more about this industry, this trading game, that I know a little bit more about this than anybody on earth. I'm not saying that to be funny. I made it for 30 years, right? But there is zero people that know more about the day trading portion of the trading game than me. Nobody. So if you're going to learn how to do this, if you're trying to switch from being a swinger or an investor, or if this is just, you know what, hey, I've had some good times doing my investments, I'm gonna hang out with this bald maniac for a little while. Nobody better than this bald maniac to teach you how to maneuver in and out of these trades during the day. And if you could learn how to conquer the day, then you could take that and extrapolate what we do here, because this stock Octo, just imagine this is on a 6-month chart, right? It's the same setups. So when this thing pulled back to the same price that I bought it at, why didn't I buy it back? The question is, why didn't I? Because I'm too busy having a conversation with you guys. See, I should have bought it back right there. And it's not about whether it worked or not, because I could have bought it back at 50, used the 47.50 as my out, defining my risk, and now I would have made another 13 or 14 points. And if you're still in this thing, sell it. Sell some right here at 65. You just got paid again. Now you have to start thinking 80. And if you said, why is it going to go to 80? Because that's how it works. What is it? What we're doing here. I know more about what we're doing here than anybody on earth, because the programming that was in place back in 1992 is still in place. It's just under the hood. So now we trade price action VWAP, but also have a understanding, and this thing's about to get halted at 70. So if you haven't sold any yet, you probably want to sell. And there was your chance to sell, but got to sell it all. Don't freak out. You want to freak out? 57.50 is where your freak out zone is. But you see how they just flashed a warning to me. The better platforms, they flash a warning that they're going to halt. And this one, now they fought through the halt because they worked that order. But they worked that order, it's still bullish. So let me tell you a story before I talk about how awesome I am for the next half an hour. And I am, but it's because I've been humbled a dozen times. I've had to fight my way, claw, and scrape back to where I am. And now I've got a trade that works almost every time. This ain't it. Right? Trading the Octo, this is just fun. The high quality trades, that was Broadcom short Friday, Lulu long Friday, right? The QS short, right? Little open short. This is just momentum trading. This is what I was born into when I became a trader. Every stock was like Octo. This ain't nothing new to me. You guys remember iOmega? Remember Netscape? Remember DoubleClick? Remember, CMGI and JDSU? This is nothing new. They were $2 stocks going to $80 every other day. This ain't nothing new. It's all about market mechanics, right? And when you get stocks that squeeze like this, there are certain levels that always come back into play. And look at it consolidating up here. Shorters are getting annihilated. So fast forward. Let's say this stock does stay above 50, and that's a big number for the rest of the day. And then later, it breaks. Maybe let's say the high of the day doesn't get broke, and you sit here and consolidate between the 57.50 and the 71. What's going to happen when it breaks 71.27 in the aftermarket when there's no liquidity and there's only a demand? The stock could go up another 70, 80 points. That's what's going to happen. And anybody who's still in this is thinking that. And they're thinking, this thing's about to break new highs. So, yeah, you're not trading this stock now with a $2 risk. Now, you're risking a minimum pretty much of $12.50. But you're ready for this thing to blast off another 70 points. So you're risking $12.50 to make 70. Are you in that position in life to do that? Well, maybe with 100 shares you are. It's not like you're buying 2,000 shares of the stock unless you're Jeff Bishop, like a maniac, probably ripping 5,000 share lots of this thing. But these are the stocks that we've been all about this thing since the 1750 break. So now look at this consolidation. Look at it. It's consolidating about 65. They can't even to break 65. And there will be a rug pull. You know there will be. The stock's up 4,700%. And here's my favorite part of the story on Octo. I think the stock inevitably goes to $1 because it's a piece of shit. This whole thing is going to end very, very badly for everybody. Just because you say something about a cryptocurrency that you're holding in treasury, your stock goes up 5,000%. Nothing's changed except you've concocted a short squeeze. Congratulations. Because if I owned a company, I would name it, I have cryptocurrency in my treasury.com systems incorporated. AI, space, rockets, robots, quantum.com. Go public, and next thing you know, my stock goes 1,000x. That's the ridiculousness of this market. And you got a problem with that? Why? The only people that have a problem with this market right now are people who didn't trade Octo and make a couple of dollars today. Or worse, they're the ones who tried to get in its way at $20 and got steamrolled, and they're all pissed off. Look at this thing. Look at it. It's consolidating. Anyway,
it has been probably, this is probably by far the most, I would say, whether or not the most profitable, that won't happen for me because I don't trade this the way I used to trade. But this is the most exciting, the most accessible, the most opportunity I have ever seen in the history of trading, and quote unquote, the ease of use. You know, back in 1997, 98, when this whole thing started morphing together, we were like, what the fuck is going on? What do we do? We didn't even know how to respond. We've never seen stocks go from 20 to 40 in a day. Now we know how to respond to it. Now we know how to do it. That's why this is better. And now there's opportunity everywhere. You got the short squeezes on garbage stocks. You got something for everybody, right? Wait for this thing to break the high today. Come on now. If they don't break the high today on the 5th attempt, you're going to get a rug pull soon. So if you're trading this long, you better break the high today right now. There you go. Now you got to hit 72.50, not 72. It's got to go to 72.50. Come on now. Don't make me look foolish here. I'm only in the stock from 17. It's got to go to 72.50, not 70. And look what it just did, just to show you some of the rigging. Normally you go to 72.50. There you go, 72.50. There you go. 72.50. All right, now you sell on your way to 80. Nothing's changed, right? 50 gets you 80. 50 gets you 80. There you go, 74.90. Come on. I'm not here for another. I need another 5 points. I said 80. So now if you're still in this thing, now your stop is the 67.50 where it broke from. Don't be crazy, even though it's probably going to 80, right? It's got to go to 80 right here. Right here. Right now. Go to 80. If it goes to 80 without being halted, that'd be even better. All right, 76 is a trading. 76 is a trading. Got to get 76 bid, then we'll get 80. 77 is a trading. We go 77 bid. We go in 80. 77 bid. 77 bid. Come on. 77 bid. We got 78's a trading. 78's a trading. We're going 78. 78 on the bid. We're going 79. Come on. 78.95. What the fuck kind of bullshit is that? I said 80. All right, be careful. Be careful. We didn't get the 80, so now they could smash it to 72.50. But again, if you're trading the stock, you got to be doing with 5-point increments, or you can't trade it. If we don't get 80 on this next move, we're going to get a rug pull soon. We should get 80. Come on. Come on. Come on, 78 bid. Put it on the bid. Put it on the bid. Come on. You know you want to. You know your program. You have no choice. You have no choice. Go to 80. Go to 80. Uh-oh. Get ready, 72.50. Come on, go to 80. I'll wait. I'll wait. Wake me when it hits 80. Big size on the offer. Hold on. Big size on the offer. Hang on. That's good. Big size on the offer. That's usually a buyer. I'm going to wait to see if I see him on the bid now. Scanners. Where's my scanner? I don't know, but somebody just sold 104,000 shares of Open. Are they hammering that thing now? Hey, listen, if we don't get 80 out of it, don't kill me. We got 78.95. I'm really thinking we got to hit 80. Come on, 80. Come on, 80. Come on, 80. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. Let's go to 80. 80. $80, motherfucker. What's up? What's up, guy in the back? You doubt me now? Who's the master? What's up, 80? What's up, 80? Sold to you. You can have your stock back. Where's it going now? 120, bitches! Woo! 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 You can have your stock back. I'm out at 80. Now, this is where I get a couple of attaboys. What did I say? 50 gets you 80. 50 got you what? Got you 83.12. That last 3 points was just icing on the cake. All I said was 80. I know more about this game than anybody. You know why? I invented it. Woo! All right, for my next trick, take some of this octo money and don't all just jump into the next thing I tell you to do now. Take a moment because I got the next octo for you. Don't fuck it up. All right? You ready? All right. I'm not going back to octo unless this thing plummets back to 57.50 and then we'll do it all over again. I should have been buying at 47.50. All right, you ready now? Are you ready? Are you strapped in? I just paid for your whole room, right? On your first trade with me. And by the way, have I mentioned the rates of my room are going to $12,500 either November 1st or the latest January 1st. $12,500 a year to be in the hit the bid room. No joke. Because what we're doing in here is beyond anything that anybody's doing anywhere in this realm. The realm of stock market commentary. We're doing day trading to get paid, swinging, investing, options. We're doing recipes. You want a nice recipe on a bacon wrapped scallop? Bang, we're doing that. Thursday night sessions, teaching you a lot about options, getting you involved in. I got a fundamental guy bringing you. You know what we're doing. Rates are going up. Join now. If today was your first day, you made your whole nut, right? On day one, on this dumb shit stock with just 200 shares. Killing it. 200 share lot at a time. With minimum risk compared to what people are, they look at the stock and they say, oh my God, this thing's up 5,000%. I can't get involved. You're not going to let it go back to $2 with you still involved. Like, look at this number. Why do you think I'm brave enough to buy it? Because if you consolidate and the chart tells me that the coast is clear to give it a shot when I can only risk 250, I'm in. So there is nobody better at this. There is a close second, and he's taking it to a whole nother level because he just trades algorithmic also. His name is Solid Jello, and I think you know him if you've been in the room. And wait till we build our algo that's automated. It's going to be insane. And then we're going to put out our own coin. That's going to be insane. But for now, you want the next octo? I'll give it to you. Right here. VWAV. Believe it. I've been talking about it for weeks. SPAC. Right? Garbage. Contracts with the government. The stock's been consolidating this monstrous move since July 29th. It's tried to go down once, they bought it. Tried to go down twice, they bought it. Tried to go down thrice, they bought it. What do you think is going to happen on the fourth attempt? They're going to try to sell it off again, and they're going to buy it. And when this thing breaks 12.59, where's it going? It's going to 15. And then 15 gets you 20. And next thing you know, all the people that think they know about this stock, they'll be talking about in their chat rooms. You'll be getting spam emails. Our chat room alerted us to VWAV at $40. No. Be in it now. And they just created options on it, right? So the options on this stock, want to see something awesome? And this is a little bit about options, right? You want to go out, the stock's 45 cents, let's call it 50 cents in the money. So that's intrinsic value. You're paying up 50 cents, right, for the September. That's 11 days from now. You could go all the way out to December and pick yourself up some 10s with 102 days left at 140, 145, or 150, or 160. All these prices are good. Because if this stock does what we need it to do, we're talking about a $20 stock, and you're buying a $10 call with 102 days left for 140. And you're only paying $1. Right? You're paying $1 to own this stock for 102 days. Bring it. Because I tell you, this other stock that I own, Mob, doesn't have options. I wish it did, because I could limit my risk. Here you get to own a stock, this VWAP, if you don't know about it, this is the sector that I'm buying. Space rockets, robots, quantum and AI, love it. But I like stocks that they're AI defense drones. That's where warfare is headed. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, someone's kind of come along and gobbled this company up. They ain't going to be publicly traded for more than about a year, 2 years from now. This stock's going to get eaten up at $50 a share, just like the Mob. And if you're in the Mob, by the way, you're up 100%, sell some. So as I'm explaining, the VWAP, right? These options are dirt cheap. And it's a stock that, yeah, if this rolls over and dies, it's probably going to $7 and then zero. But so now that they put options out on Monday, on Friday, we get to trade this thing. And look how cheap the Decembers are. The Septembers with only 10 days are $1, right? The Decembers with 110 days are $1.50, $1.60. So you're basically getting a stock for $1. You're paying $1, only $1, on a stock that looks like it's about to rip to 20 in the sector you want to be in, right? And there's no volume. When the kids find out about the VWAP, when the Reddit nudniks start buying this thing at 20, ooh. You want to be, and this is the cheapest possible way to own this thing, a $10 call between, even at 175. Think about it. You got the stock's at, basically the offer is still 10.75. Very difficult stock to trade, day trading, because they got big spreads, low volume. But yes, sir. Give me some cheap $10 calls for Christmas. Woo! And by the way, if you are short open right now, a big open-faced, massive kiss from me. I shorted this thing twice today. I didn't even make anything, and now it's working without me. Too busy goofing around with freaking Octomom, who cashed out an Octomom at $80. We get that on film? See, that's the premise of what we're trying to do here. Kick ass on the Octo, and then you got $2 or $3 grand to throw on a VWAP option play. Kick ass on your Octo. You got yourself a couple $1,000 to throw on a Mob trade. Kick some ass on an open short on a 1-minute multi-day VWAP reversal. Now you got some money to put somewhere else. Use the money that you make in the market back at the market. That's how you do it. That's the Big Al way. That's my dad's way. You make some money, you buy some quality stocks. You do a little selling of the puts, you collect some money, you put most of it back into the Qs, like my father does. And by the way, the Qs are actually finally a short. Finally, where is he? I know one guy's been dying to short the Qs. Oh, you're already short. But damn, people, thank God we got that $80 thing right there on camera. Woo! 80 shares. You didn't have to be nuts. 40 shares. 40 shares making 20 points. That's more money I made betting against the Jets this weekend, which I hope you did. Freaking Jets. They suck. And this Octo, I'm telling you, kids, man, it does not want to die. If this thing's breaking 83 in the aftermarket today, what time? I feel like it's 3 o'clock already. I've been ripping all day. Whew. This is what we do, friends. This is all we do. These Octos, there's 3 Octos a day. A lot of them don't go from $1 to 83, but there's plenty of these. And there's plenty of them every day. And let me show you this V-Wave again, right? We're talking about a stock that's 10% away from all-time highs, right? In the greatest bull market ever, right? It helps. And it's just been living inside this monster candle. So that's what we call inside, right? So when this thing comes outside the reaction candle, where's it going to go? It's going to $20. And then if it goes to 20, welcome back to Octo Mom. And then the kids start talking about it. Yeah. And of course, it's easier for these stocks to rip in the environment we're in. That's why stop being angry like me, trapped in a bull market. Enjoy it. Everything's ripping. Woohoo. You know, I used to just sit here stewing about it like, oh man, I can't wait to short this Octo. Screw it. Join in. Like that open trade. I've never seen a stock this popular. That's why I thought it wasn't going to work as a long trade. I've never seen, everybody's talking, literally, my Uber driver, my cousin who I haven't seen in 20 years, his wife. I'm like, how do you all know about this stock? Well, you know, we see it on the internet. I'm like, holy shit, everybody knows about this trade. No ways are going to work. Meanwhile, whoop, it pops from the 450 right up to the 7 and change. I'm not going to get in its way. And by the way, this stock has faux show broad almost every day. So even though this short has been working, I'm warning you, chances are you're not going to be able to stay short today. I traded it once for a quick payday, quickly got out. I haven't revisited it short. But I've never seen a stock where everybody's involved. And that's usually not a good thing. And I used to want to short stocks where everyone's chirping about it because I'm that guy. I want to short stocks. But you just wait. And the stock presented itself as a short finally. That's when you allow yourself to do the trade. You know, that's what's kept me in the biz, right? Well, for a while there, I was out of the biz. But now, no matter how dumb my idea is, I just wait for the market to validate it. Like Octo, right? I didn't want to trade the stock, but I was like, you know what? If you're going to consolidate and rip to 80, I'm going to join in. Why not? And then tomorrow, we'll revisit it for a possible short, probably at 700 a share. But let's talk about this QQQ trade that's happening right now. So, you know, anytime you short the Qs, remember, first thing is you probably shouldn't be short. Secondly, shorting is short-lived and you're going to die, right? But right now, the market's telling you, hey, you can have your fun right now. We'll give you a chance. We'll give you the chance, right? And you better cover because now where did it go? It went and said hello to his old friend, right? And now it tried to shake you out, but you're getting what we call the finger of God. That's the opposite of the faux show bro. New high, second candle breaks the prior low. So right now, the market's giving you permission right now to stay short the Qs. And what's lovely about the VWAP now is I hope you know, you ain't staying short when they breaks back over the VWAP later today. So right now, yeah, you could have yourself some fun. V-Wave new hive, let's go. And by the way, don't talk about V-Wave until it breaks 1250. That's when you let your friends in. And then they'll tell them not to let anybody in on the stock until it's over $15. But right now, if you're short the Qs, I am super proud of that one guy that I know you're probably short right now. You crazy bastard. Oh man, bro, they just opened up the spread on this thing. What? Trying to don't. Oh, I should have mentioned this in the first place. Don't ever send market orders when you're trading options. I think we all know that, right? If you would have set the market order just about a minute ago, they would have printed you out $4. Limit only. Always limit only. All right, so let's talk about this Q short. Wait, I don't want to lose focus on my Octo because this bad boy ain't going away. Sick. But let's talk about these Q short, right? So, okay, you had your reason, you had your risk reward defined, you got to those levels, you need to be covering. You need to be 50% of this trade is probably over by now. And by the way, I'm hiring. If anybody wants to work for me, if you're crazy enough to work for me, my son got a real job. Let's give it up. Kid got a job in trade reconciliation in the tender offer and rights offering and corporate action office over at Citigroup. You believe this? My kids got a real job before me. I've never had a real job in my life except for like scooping ice cream at Baskin Robbins or getting sneakers with people. But kid got a real job. So I'm hiring. I got Fazoon X coming back to the fold. I need one more person. And what we're going to do, what your job is going to be, you're going to sit here by my side virtually, listen to what I'm talking about, and you're going to trade an options account. And then we're going to have an algorithm going, and you're going to watch the algo. And when the algo says buy VWAP at $10.20, you're going to type it into the room. Can you handle that? Seems like a simple job. For some reason, I can't get somebody who actually to do it for me because you're always on something else. But, I usually trade stock, right? So my ambition in life is to have a trader, assistant trader, or many assistant traders trading the options to coincide with the trades that I'm doing already because I can't literally do two things at once. So imagine, if you will, this Octo had options. It would have been fun to trade while I'm trading 200 share lots of this thing. You could be in some option trades or like the Qs. I actually trade the Q stock, 200-300 share lots. I want you to be buying the options alongside me. And I will train you and beat you. But my kid, he's probably got a thick enough skin now after sitting with me for a month and a half, beating his ass. Well, yeah, a lot of good things happening here, man. This is the greatest market, and I literally need help. There's so much to do, and I feel like I'm missing out. And I am. I mean, it's not a coincidence. Yeah, for instance, like this open trade, right? My assistant, if you will, would have been buying the 650 puts when I was shorting the stock at 7, or buying the 7 or the 650s. As long as you hear me doing a trade, you don't have to ask, hey, boss, do you want me to be? Yes. If I'm doing a trade, I want you in on my side. So while I'm hammering the stock, you buy the options. It's just logistics. I only have 2 fingers or 10 fingers, but usually I'm sitting here working my orders, putting my stops in, or over here working my orders, putting my stops in, and I just can't do it all. This market is freaking awesome. And let me tell you one more time, especially when, again, you got to, now we only have a nickel. They opened the spread on that thing for a second. It was 180 bid, $4 on the offer. So if you would have sent a market order, they would have printed you at $4. I'm telling this to you again. Don't ever send market orders when you're trading options, because those blips, I don't know if you saw it, you would have got robbed. And then when you called up E-Trade, hey man, I just got printed at $4, 100% out of the money. And they would have said, oh, well, sir, that's where the market was when you sent the order. And you would have said, no, it was 185 offer. And they would have said, no, there was one contract, but you sent the market order, and then the market was at 4, and they printed you on the other 9 contracts at 4, and they hang up on you. It's a shady business, those market makers. You didn't get done at 4, did you? No, didn't go. No prints got off at 4. Stop it. I hope not. Nobody got printed at 4. Stop it. But that's the kind of shit that happens. That's why when we were trading those sedge options, oh my God. I put a stop on it, right? And the stop order becomes a market. I forgot to put stop limit. I got printed 200% below the bid. It was like a 120 bid. I got done at 40 cents. It's a freaking crime, because there's you know what I'm saying? There's nobody there. But man, these options, again, this is all relative. That's this whole game, right? When I looked at I immediately went to look at the Septembers. The September 10s were $1, and the Decembers were $1.20 at the time. I was like, oh, well, that's a no-brainer. You're getting 100 extra days for 20 cents. It's still a no-brainer, especially, again, I think we're going to be right about this one. The lack of liquidity, man. We're 11 cents, 11% away from all-time highs. And then when a stock starts to hit all-time highs, it populates it on news aggregation software, and it populates it on scanners. This stock just hit a new high, and then people put it on their watch lists. And then that's how this whole game works. The more people that watch it, and then it gets exciting, and then it hits the message boards. And then it hits another group of people that say, oh shit, look at this thing that's about to break 1250. And then they start to buy it. And it's the whole game is a pyramid scheme. That's what the whole thing is. But if you get into the pyramid, first, second, or third, or even fourth, you're going to get paid. And in this game, lately, you could be the 3,000th guy in. I mean, even the Octo 5750 players just got paid, right? This morning, you didn't think you'd be buying the stock. You didn't think, this morning, you probably didn't even think it was going to go to 5750. And here we are, buying it on a 5750 break. Sick. It's so sick. And I'm telling you guys, right? The mob is up 300%, right? This stock just got started. Wait till you see what happens when it breaks 1250. Ooh. And the next thing you know, Trump says something about drones, and every drone stock rips. He says something about defense contracts, boom. And then this thing, you got the news, you got all-time highs. I mean, come on. We got to enjoy this bull market, man. It's the greatest market. Now, let me tell you something more about this stock, right? Let's say we consolidate for a couple of days here, which I don't mind. Oh, actually, for a couple of days, no, I actually want to see it rip to 1250. But let's say we get to the 1250, then we consolidate, and we don't break all-time highs. Yeah, the all-time high is 1259, right? As long as we consolidate at higher levels, a higher level, right? Then, if it becomes more active, they create weekly options instead of having to go out monthly. Then if it becomes even more active, you'll have what? Right now we have to choose between the 750s and the 10s. So the 10s were a no-brainer because you were at 10. But you really want to see $11 calls. But because there's only 10s and 1250s, it's easier for them to rip this thing from the 10 to the 1250 because there isn't a way for the shorts to protect themselves in between those strike prices. You guys are following me? It's a lot of information I'm laying down here for you, right? But that's how the market mechanics works. It's all based on option valuations and the blue sky breakout. And that's why this octo, I was like, fuck it, man. This thing breaks 20. It's going to go to 30. 30 gets you 50. 50 gets you 80. And you got your 80. This thing, pump and dumps that get pumped, that dump and come back, they qualify themselves. Now you're consolidated at its lifetime VWAP. And you faux show broed, and that's when we started buying, that's when we started liking the stock again, right there. I don't need to be the first one in. I've been loving this stock, again, I like what I read about it on day one, but now I'm in and I want to stay in. And now we have a cheap way to stay in with a $10 call, no brainer. And this is one of those trades where it's just like, okay, now I could own the stock for 80 cents or $1 for the next 110 days. Boom. Easy peasy. By the way, you can tell your friends about what I did with the octo. Say, man, this guy just starts a show talking about this octo. This thing goes from 47. He's saying 80. He's saying 80. I'm thinking he's insane. Next thing you know, this thing's at 70. He's still thinking 80. Next thing you know, it's 78 and change. Doesn't look like it's going to get there. But goddamn, the fucker got to $80 right before our eyes. It was pretty sick. I'm never going to tell you not to take profit, my friend. You hear what I'm saying? I'm never going to tell you not to take profit. Because that's the name. That's my other middle name. Taking Profit Kid. I'm usually early on the taking of the profits. That's why I'm always bitching and moaning about shit. But if you got yourself, a couple thousand shares, I've taken some profits on the mob. I sold some at 5 on the way up so I could hang in there. Yeah, I don't got enough V-Wave to really want to sell, but, if you're in from 9 and change from the other day, be my guest, sell a little bit. But this gap's tomorrow and it goes, we might be looking at a blue sky breakout tomorrow. Bottom line, don't sell it all. Don't sell it all. That's all I can tell you. That's the only way to stay in this game right now. You want to take profits? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. And that allows you now to stay with the stock. That's exactly what you should be doing. All right, I got a boogie. Listen, don't tell too many people about the V-Wave yet. Let's get this bad boy to 15. Then you can tell your dumb uncle about it who never makes money on anything. Oh, when I tell my uncle, that's when we cash out. Because if my uncle buys it, it's going to zero. Just maybe you have an uncle that has better luck. If I get my father involved, which he won't ever buy this type of stock, then it'll go to 300. If I tell my uncle and he buys it, it's going to zero that day probably because he's the mush. And if you know who the mush is, my uncle is the mush. On that note, nice hanging out with you. I hope you got paid on Octo. I'm hanging in there with the V-Wave, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Guy.